Hello everybody and welcome to the webinar. This is Paul Gough. It is great to be here with you live from the top floor of the Paul Gough Physio Rooms. It is good to be here. It's webinar week, everybody. What a week we've had of teaching how to sell physical therapy without being salesy. I'm going to show you on this webinar how to professionally, ethically and confidently sell your physical therapy services and at much higher prices. So right now I am in this building that you can see there on the slides. If you're just joining as well, by the way, well done for getting in on time. Type into the chat, let me know that you can see me. You should be able to see me and you should be able to hear me. I'm in the building that you're looking at on that screen on the 3rd floor. So I'm directly above my spiritual home, the Paul Gough Physio Rooms, as I teach this webinar to you. So well done for getting here on time. We're going to go hard and we're going to go very fast. I've got lots to share with you today. Some stuff that will quite literally change the way you feel about what you sell, change the way you sell it. How many people say yes to you is going to change. Your prices are going to change. This webinar is really about changing the likelihood that more people are going to say yes, changing how you feel about yourself when it comes to selling, and changing the amount of money that's in your bank every week. Because I, for one, believe that you as a physical therapist should be absolutely proud and confidently sell your physical therapy services to make whatever money you want. So we're going to get going. If you are on this webinar right now, my tip for you is do not leave. We always oversubscribe this webinar, and if you leave, you are very unlikely to get off. We're going to need about 90 minutes to 100 minutes of your time. That's all. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to share with you a lot, and it will be the most impactful training that you take. That is something that I promise. Of all of my webinars, this is the one that I love the most. This is the one with the most energy. This is the one that has the absolute fastest, most rapid breakthroughs, and I'm excited to do it all in the next 90 minutes to 100 minutes with you. So do me a favor, share it out on social. Paul Gough's How to Sell Without Being Salesy. It's webinar week at the Paul Gough. I'm on Instagram. I'll be very disappointed. In the nicest possible way, I'll be very disappointed if I don't see you tag me on Instagram after this webinar is over with something that impacted you. Take your phone out, take some screenshots, just tell me what impacted you. I'm at the Paul Gough on Instagram and also on Twitter. I'd love to hear from you. I love that. I love it when people get in touch with me after they've took my trainings or they've read my books. So please don't think that it's a robot or anybody who looks after my social accounts. The response that you get will be from me. So please, at the Paul Gough on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on YouTube there as well. But message me on Instagram, tag me, anything that impacts you from this webinar across the course of the next hour and a half. Here's why I want you to listen carefully to every word that I'm about to teach you. This stuff works. Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. This stuff works to help you sell more at higher prices. Here's Carrie Jose from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. 3 price rises inside 12 months with 0 noticeable pushback. Not just one price rise, not just an extra $10. She went from $150 to $225 and is on the verge of going to $250, all in under 12 months since I showed her the stuff that I'm about to teach you. She's also been able to grow a business and since bring in a PT who is selling at the exact same price. This is Josh. Josh started a practice. He attended this type of training with me. I taught him what he needed to know, started his practice about a month later, and in the first 6 months made $6,000 in cash pay sales. Do not underestimate what you are about to learn. It will quite literally change the profit and the money that it's available to you by the end of this month. So who this is for? Well, it's for you if you've read my book, To Sell is Healthy, and want to put what you learned into action. You finally want to start making the impact you started your clinic for in the first place, and you know that you could be charging more. You just don't feel comfortable doing it. You literally dread hearing the words, do you take my insurance? You regularly hear, I'll get back to you, but they never do. You are fed up of hearing, I'll think about it when the price conversation comes up, and you are worried about raising prices and losing patients if you do. You are frustrated by your staff's inability to sell the value in the same way that you can. You are not confident enough to truly sell the value of what you do, and if you were, you would be more profitable. You're confident enough with selling your value. You just lack the skills and strategy to do it right. And a big one for many people, marketing is working. You're getting people opting in on your website. You're getting people calling you up, but your conversions are shockingly low, and that's killing your ability to make a profit. We're here for traditional insurance businesses. You're running into copay and deductible type issues from patients, or much like Josh, you're a brand new cash-based business, and you cannot afford to lose any of the inquiries that you are getting. These things are like gold dust. Do not let them go. I'm going to show you today how to convert as many as possible into paying patients. And if you struggle to get people to commit to a full plan of care, you are going to love this, as well as if you keep hearing, I want to talk to my insurance first. So tell me about you. Why are you here? Type into the chat. Let me see what's happening. We've got people on here from all over the world. We've got people who have registered from all across America, Britain, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. We've got somebody on here from Brunei. We've got somebody on here from France, Denmark. So we are literally all over the world. My teachings are now far and wide. Don't think that just because you're in a certain town, in a certain country, that this does not work for you. If you know anything about me and my teaching and you've read my book, what you'll know is I've studied psychology and I've studied human behavior. And all I've ever done is applied how people do behave to my business. And it makes no difference. I promise you. And one thing I'll tell you, I'm a guy who's traveled. I've been all over Australia. My brother lived there. I've been all across the US. I've been Canada. Obviously, I've lived in Britain. I've traveled extensively through Europe, Dubai, Asia, Sri Lanka, India, you name it. I've probably been there. And what I know is there ain't no difference between people. People are the same. We're all hardwired exactly the same 3 parts of the brain, same chemicals, and we are all motivated or demotivated the exact same way. Sure, the nuances are slightly different, but by and large, a human being, how we make decisions is how we all make decisions, no matter where you are. So do not rule yourself out of success with my teaching just because you think that because you're from a certain country, this doesn't apply from you. That way of thinking will kill you. It will kill your business. So go ahead, type into the chat. Tell me about you. Why are you here? What is your biggest sales and conversion frustration right now? You can see people. For most people, it's the insurance issue. They keep getting asked the price. What's the cost? It's too expensive. I'd like to hire you, but I can't afford you. My personal trainer is cheap around the corner. These are the types of problems that we're all running into. Hospital systems, doctors selling out, not wanting to refer to cash-based businesses. I hear you. I absolutely hear you all the way through. These insurance systems are a complete pain in the ass. Doctors won't necessarily refer to the younger, more fledgling businesses. So we have to do something different. So that different is what you're going to learn on this presentation. And here's just some of it. How to raise your cash rates above $225 without getting pushback or losing patients. The priming effect. What is it and how to use it to answer the "do you take my insurance" question. The 7 common objections to cash PT, high copay or deductibles, and why each one really happens. The 5 essential steps of any successful sales system. 3 questions that you should ask to get a completed plan of care more frequently, and how to overcome the fear of selling. Wouldn't we all love that? How to get over the fear that you're being judged, that people are resenting you for taking money off them for fixing their health. How to get over the fear that you're taking money off people, and if you do, they can't put food on the table. Well, I'll tell you what, that's all going to be covered in the next 90 minutes or so together. And ultimately, I'm going to show, make sure you stay till the end, how to increase your sales, your revenue by 100% by doing just 3 things. That's all you've got to do. And stay right to the end. I'm going to show you an expert way of responding when they say, I would like to hire you, Paul, but you're just too expensive. How do you deal with that one? Because we all get it. We all hear it. I'm going to show you how I answer that at my practice. Plus, my biggest announcement ever about boosting sales and conversions at your clinic in less than 48 hours. This is going to be superb. We're going to work together for the next 90 minutes, and then I'm going to show you a huge announcement to really accelerate this whole thing for you and what you can do to boost your profits in the next 48 hours. So why is it important to you now? Resistance to paying out of pocket for PT is increasing. Patients are more skeptical and confused than ever. PTs are putting so much emphasis on marketing, they're forgetting that you do still have to sell. And mainly because, unlike marketing, sales requires 0 additional expense. Therefore, it is the quickest and fastest way to boost profits, which is why I love helping businesses improve their sales system. It's often the most neglected and overlooked because people think they don't have to do it, or that it's not right to do it in healthcare, which is a complete load of trash. And anybody who thinks that way needs to get off their high horse and realize that we actually do need to make a living. And to do that, you have to sell things to people. It's one thing if you've got those special relationships with doctors and you're in a place where insurance companies want to pay you a crap load of money, but for most of us, that's not the case. We do actually have to sell some stuff, and we need to sell because we need to eat. I, for one, have got kids that need feeding, and I've got a mortgage that needs paying, and I'm only going to do both if I sell the value of what I'm worth, which, by the way, I shouldn't need to remind you, I've also paid a significant sum of money in the form of a college education to acquire. I need some ROI on that investment, and screw, and I'm going to say it again, screw anybody in this profession who thinks that that is wrong. I would quite happily look you in the eye, or anybody who thinks that it is wrong to sell something that changes somebody's life, and tell you to go to hell and get the hell off your high horse. I'm loud and proud about selling my services because it quite literally changes people's lives, and I will never, ever back down from selling my services to people who need it, just because of what one or two peers in this profession, who usually have their head up their proverbial backside, might think about me doing that. So there we go. If you don't like the idea of selling, I wouldn't stay on this website because on this webinar, because I'm going to show you how to do it. If you do not like the idea of making money, don't stay on this webinar because I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you don't like the idea of sticking two fingers up to the system, to the insurance system, to the referrals from doctors crap that we've all had to suffer from for years, don't stay on this webinar because you will not like it. I'm going to show you how to stick two fingers up to insurance, stick two fingers up to needing referrals from doctors, stick two fingers up to any of the outdated PTs who think that it's not right to sell in healthcare, and show you a completely different way of doing it, so you can make piles and piles and piles of cash while helping a lot of people. It's called positive capitalism, and I, for one, am a huge fan of it. So if you're still with me, well done. I'm going to show you how to make a lot of money. If you're not, well, good riddance. Space for somebody else. Anyway, right. Here's how to make $77,000 extra profit right now. You are literally one skill away from all of the profit that you want. So even if you get 2 inquiries per week that you currently don't convert, converting just one of those 2 who would otherwise go elsewhere could bring in a minimum $77,000 in net profit. And here's how. This should light up your day. This is how close you are to making a lot of money in your business. If your patients average 5 sessions and you charge a measly $150, with that one additional conversion, you add $750 per week, which is 35 grand a year. Then, step 2, raise your rates by $50. That brings in $250 per patient more, meaning you've added another $12,000 per year in additional sales from that one extra conversion per week. And finally, actually prescribe the 8 sessions that they need instead of settling on the 5 that they want, or you just didn't have the confidence to tell them. That will bring in an additional $600 per converted patient at your new rate, which is another $30,000 per year. Read that screen, take a screenshot of it. That is where your mortgage gets paid off in a couple of years. That's where your kids get their college education. If you are willing to do what I show you today, you will do what the likes of Carrie has done and Josh has done. Add significant profit to your business starting right away. Remember, it is profit as well. It is profit. And that's just from one extra patient that you successfully convert. If you convert 2, 3, 4, you really are in the money. So it's a minimum of $77,000, because as you raise the rates across the board and you bring your average patient visit to 8, then the reality is that getting a real sales and conversion system into your business could add at least $250,000 depending upon the size of your business. And the best news, without any additional investment in anything like marketing. So how to increase your revenue by over 100%, how to literally double your revenue. So wherever you are right now, this is how to double it. Number 1, increase the number of clients by just 30%. All you've got to do is go from 3 to 4. Increase the average spend by 20%. All you've got to do is go from 150 to 180 and increase the number of times that they visit you by 30%. All we've got to do for that is go from 3 to 4 visits. You are this close. Ladies and gentlemen, you are this close to making a lot of money. Anything else, forget about it. This is all you have to do to make money. Most of our clients, this is the first thing that we get them to do. Get the sales system right, raise the rates, get more people converted, and get more people coming back. With that, we've got more money in the bank. We can get better premises, we can get better staff, we can put in better internal systems, financial controls, and so on and so forth. We can do all of that if you have a good sales and conversion system. If you don't, it's almost impossible to grow a business. And that is why it's so important to you now. So let me give you a practical example of a client that we work with. So this is an example of Vault PT. So Dean, who runs Vault PT, is one of our clients. We run all of his marketing. We do his Facebook ads, his Google ads. Now let me show you something from his Google ads account. Now what you can see there is we fixed his Google AdWords so that he got 17 conversions, okay? Now the cost was just $80. So he spent just $78.70, and he got 17 conversions from 17 clicks from people looking for knee pain relief. Now let me give you an example of that. You might be getting leads coming in from Google, okay? You could get 17 leads in 1 month, which is great. Well done. It's a good start. But obviously somebody has to convert them. Now, when we met Dean, his current conversion ratio was 1 in 5, which meant that for every 17 leads he got, he was only getting 3 people to become a patient. So at the rate that he was going at, for every 17 leads, he was making about $3,300. He was getting 3 conversions at an average of $1,100 each. Are you following along? Type into the chat just to let me know you're following this. If he gets 17 leads, but he only converted a ratio of 1 in 5, it means that just over 3 convert. So let's keep it round numbers. His average patient spends $1,100 each, which means he makes $3,300 at the current conversions rate. Now, if the conversion ratio in Dean's clinic improves, i.e. he gets a better sales and conversion system, he gets new scripts, he gets a little bit of training for his staff, and we take that to 1 in 3, which is easily doable, then that same batch of leads on Google became worth to Dean $5,500, which is an extra $2,000 just from converting patients from his Google AdWords, which was 25 grand a year. So, said differently, without the sales system and without the sales training and without the right scripts, Dean was losing 25 grand a year just from Google. Not to mention Facebook, not to mention newspaper ads, not to mention just word of mouth, social media, and so on. Therefore, you can conclude Dean was losing a hell of a lot of money before we went in and put this system in. As a result of putting the system in, he's a very happy bunny, let me tell you that. So to improve Dean's marketing return, all he had to do was focus on improving his conversion skills. It wasn't to go out and get more leads. It was to figure out how to convert more of the ones he's got. So that's an introduction, just in case you don't know me and you've just found me. The Healthy Habit book, the new Patient Accelerator Method, Physical Therapy Hiring Solution, and of course To Sell is Healthy are my books. I'm a former professional soccer physical therapist, multi-clinic owner from the UK, where I am right now as I teach you this with 18 staff and over 2,000 visits every single month coming through my practice. There's me on the pitch, on the field, working with some of the soccer players, and a couple of my books. My favorite role, proud daddy to 2 beautiful boys, Harry and Tobias, which is really the reason why I'm in business. As I always say, business is a mule for a terrific life. That's it. I am not necessarily wanting to be here for 15, 16 hours a day as much as I love my business. I can tell you I love spending time with my kids more, and therefore I do anything that is required in my business to make sure that I can get home anytime I like. By and large, I have complete autonomy to decide when I'm off, when I want to go home, when I want to start work. If I want to work late, I will, but if I want to finish early, I'll do that as well. And a couple of years ago, 2016 winner of the Infusionsoft Award, Small Business Icon, I beat off 45,000 customers to win the award for Best in Class Lead Nurture and Conversion Systems. Basically, I created a conversion system that was recognized by a global company, and they loved how successful it was because it converted that many people. So I'm going to talk to you about that and how I did it, obviously, on this webinar today. So paulgough.com/books. If you haven't read my other books, paulgough.com is where my podcast is, my actual physio business. You can find paulgoughphysio.com and ptprofitacademy.com is where all of our courses and programs are. So we're going to get going. Let's turn off your cell phone and close down your internet. Have a pen and paper handy to take your notes. Focus 100% for the next 90 minutes on the material that I will be teaching you. I'm going to share with you my story and how learning to sell changed my life, the 5 steps that you can take to create a sales system at your clinic, and how to get some help from me to rapidly double your sales and conversion ratio and your take-home pay with the help of an advanced 48-hour training. So, my conversion struggles. Selling cash pay physical therapy against a free healthcare system is tough. Obviously, my physio business originally is in England, 4 clinics. Britain has a completely free healthcare system where socialist medicine means that for everybody who I ask for the equivalent of $150, also has the option of getting it completely free. That's tough. Mega tough. There's not just copay, the little bit of a contribution or some excess. This thing is completely free. Like nitto, nothing to pay. If you have a back problem in Britain, you go to see a medical doctor, he refers you to the national health system, and you get physical therapy for free. So converting patients to pay at high cash prices, let me tell you, I've learned a lot of very painful lessons, but I've come through it from the other side. But here's the big thing that I learned. Despite being a pro sport soccer physical therapist, so I was well known as a physio and still am in my area. I worked on the pitch, running on the field. I was on TV. I was in the newspapers. I'd be often interviewed on radio talking about players' injuries. People knew who I was, and people knew that I was a top professional sport physio. But I still heard, I'll think about it, I'll get back to you, and I can't afford it. I heard it that many times that I felt like quitting. That was until I learned much of what I'm about to teach you today. So the first thing that I had to accept was that although what I am selling is valuable, people absolutely hate being sold to. Would you agree? Would you agree that people hate being sold to? Well, if so, the answer is to create an environment that makes people want to buy. That's what the system that I'm going to show you today does. It reverses the selling process. It makes selling almost effortless. Wouldn't that be nice to have an effortless way of selling in your business? Well, the way we do it is we create the environment that people actually want to buy. First, let me clear this up. What is the difference between sales and marketing? Marketing is about moving them away from frustration, which is actually the hardest thing. And sales is about moving them towards pleasure, which is the easiest thing. So of the two things, marketing and sales, undoubtedly the hardest is marketing because that requires them to start to move. They've got to move out of frustration. Sales, just keep them moving. If they've made an inquiry with you via your marketing is working. Sales is about just moving them and keeping them moving in the right direction because they're already on the way to you. Just don't screw it up is what I often say to my team. So what is sales? Let's clear that up. There's a lot of confusion about what it is in physical therapy. Sales, in my opinion, is about enhancing people's lives so that they feel good about doing business with you now and again in the future. Sales is a transfer of an emotion from you to them. Transferring how good you feel about your service to them so that they can feel good about having used your service now and again later. So what does that mean? It means that you should be absolutely ecstatically in love with physical therapy, which I know you are. And I want you to give that to the patients. That's ultimately what effortless selling is about, is giving you the power, giving you the control, giving you the confidence, giving you the know-how to feel really, really good about what it is that you're selling. And let the patients buy that. As I said in the book, get the patients to buy the feeling that you have about what you can do for people. Don't be ashamed of what you're selling. Don't be hiding from what you're selling. Embrace the fact that you change people's lives. And never, ever, ever, ever forget that. And when you live like that, that's how you sell more of your physical therapy services. I'm going to show you how to get more belief in what you do with some scripts and some good ways of answering questions. But ultimately, it's about you believing wholeheartedly in yourself and ultimately what you do for people in that you change their lives. When you live with that feeling and when you understand that that's what people buy, you are showing up very, very different, and people want to buy that feeling from you because they feel just as unconfident as you. They are just as nervous as you, and they are just as frightened as you about buying from you. You have to change all of that and sell them the feeling that you have about how good you feel about what you're going to do for them. It's cause and effect. If your conversions are low, you can't get people to say yes, well, that's the effect. It means that your sales skills and your understanding of sales and your sales system are not as good as they could and should be. That is the cause. Better said, if you want more conversions, get better sales skills. I'm going to show you that today. So, the physical therapy conversion crisis. What has caused it? Well, why are so many PTs struggling to convert? Here's what I believe. Doctors have done most of the selling for a PT in the past, but not necessarily when it comes to the size of the, particularly cash pay prices. But doctors are not going to get involved at the sales process. And really, where this is changing now is because the price of PT, whether it's even for co-pay, which it could be $50, $60, $70 a session, and the sheer size of the deductible is now what's getting in the way. In the past, doctors would just write a script and a patient would be off to your practice. They'd arrive, they might pay $5 to $10 copay, and nobody really had to do any selling. That's all gone now. The focus is nearly always on marketing. Therefore, everything is blamed on marketing. If the patient calls and doesn't want to spend, it's that we've got bad leads. Well, could it be that you have a bad sales system? A bad lead is not somebody with back pain who lives in a 5-mile radius of your clinic. A bad lead is somebody who lives 300 miles away, who doesn't have back pain, and randomly found your website. Bad leads are not the problem. It's usually that there is a lack of understanding of the need for a sales system. There's no confidence when selling, and patients feel it, by the way. I can look in the eyes of somebody, I can speak to you within 30 seconds, and I can know whether or not you're going to have a problem with selling once I start talking to you about your services. If you do not have confidence when selling your services, wrap up now, because patients will feel it, they'll feel uncertain, they'll feel insecure, and they'll never buy from you in that situation. It's about certainty. That's ultimately what they want to see from you. So why is it happening now? Well, prices are shockingly low. Shockingly low. So bad that it's actually putting people off. Do you want to take your children to the cheapest dentist? Do you want to take your children to the cheapest doctor? Of course you don't, and neither do they. Chiropractors are stunning at marketing and selling, which obviously a lot of people migrate over to chiropractors that could come and see physios. Peer pressure, apparently it's not right to sell in healthcare. Said all of the people who've made their money in healthcare, who have cozy friendships with doctors who give them referrals and ride there on their big horse. The peers is what I say to you all. Go F-U-C-K yourself when it comes to that type of thinking, because you're out of date. Well, you were never in date in the first place, but you're most definitely out of date right now. Wrong skill set or no skill set when it comes to selling, and more patient objections because of rising costs. So, sales situations in your clinic. Do you even know when you are in one? This is the big dilemma that I think people struggle with. They don't even know when they should be selling, because it just feels patients are asking you questions, they're saying no, they're giving you excuses, you're talking to them about free sessions or selling them on a wellness plan, and at this point we just think that it's a conversation that we're in, when actually you are in a sales situation. So these are the 6: converting cold leads from your website, Google, Facebook, and so on; selling the value on the phone to warm leads, the folks who request your free reports; converting people at the initial consultation to a full plan of care. Number 4, converting from discovery visits; reselling the value. So you've got to resell when people drop off or they no-show, or people who just say no. No appointment, no sale. And number 6, converting from workshops, or when you're speaking at your educational events in the community. So let's talk through them. Number 1, converting cold leads. Well, this is where the most of your money can be made. This is the one that most people struggle with. That when I've taught people how to really do this, this is where your profit comes from, because these are the hardest, but at the same time there's an abundance of people finding you online these days, or filling out forms, and if you know how to convert these, you can make a lot of money. So the cold leads, as I refer to them, typically come from websites, Google or Facebook. They find you cold. They make an inquiry or a call out of the blue, which means they are not always ready to say yes. They are not referred from a doctor. They're not referred from friends. They're not referred from past patients. They just randomly found you. It means they know nothing about you. Doesn't mean that you can't close them. It means that you have to do some extra work. They're often calling to find out about price or information on using insurance. They are the hardest to convert because they are cold, but they're also the biggest pocket of people and therefore the biggest opportunity if you crack the sales and conversion process for these people. Number 2, warm prospects. So these people, the difference, leads call you out of the blue. Prospects have most likely already been exposed to you by a doctor, a friend, or a past patient. They are more likely to say yes quicker and easier because of the way they have been pre-framed to know, like, and trust you. But the caveat is this: there's less prospects around, there's less leads than the leads, and the challenge is not always getting them to say yes. It's getting them to say yes and then complete the plan of care. So again, I'm trying to compartmentalize this for you to help you understand that you need a different way of speaking to the cold leads than people who are referred to you from your past patients and friends. Now, the reason that most businesses get stuck is because they rely exclusively on the past patients, on the referrals from past patients. There's only so many of them to go around. The growth, the success, the profit, the fulfillment that you want comes when you crack the first nut, the cold leads. Number 3, converting people at the initial consultation to a full plan of care. Do not just assume because they are in your clinic that it does mean you have a patient. It doesn't. The biggest mistake is to think that just because they are there, that they're bought in. They do not, in my opinion, and certainly in my clinic, they do not become a client until they are 3 to 4 visits in. I often refer to this converting people to a full plan of care as resetting expectations, because ultimately that's what we have to do. They come with very false expectations about what's possible, what's probable, how you're going to achieve it, and I believe in that session you have to very skillfully reset expectations. And if you've done the phone call right, you've had the right script for the phone, it's a matter of reconfirming expectations, because we should have done all of that on the initial phone call. So here's some questions, some write down stuff, write it down as I say. You can take these into your practice starting tomorrow. How to get a full plan of care booked out. Number 1, ask them this question. Remind me again what you want to achieve. It tells you how to position your plan of care against that. Ultimately, they won't buy physical therapy, but if you know what they want to achieve, you can position your physical therapy against that. It's got to be worded very cleverly with the right scripts to be able to do that. And number 2, how committed are you to achieving it? They'll probably say something like very, and you get them to buy into you. You get them to do what we call selling themselves on you. And number 3 question that you could ask: how fast would you like this to happen? How fast would you like it all to happen? And they'll probably say very fast. And you say, okay, good. Instead of 1 session a week, we need to do 3 sessions a week. You get them to commit. You get them to sell them on you, not the other way around. Like I said, we turning this around. Effortless selling is all about turning this around so that people want to buy from you and you have to do less selling of it. So the success of a full plan of care is directly proportional to the quality of the conversation on the phone that led to the consultation being agreed. Better said, if you are getting a no or a drop-off, it is most likely because of what didn't happen on the phone in the days building up to the session. It's called pre-framing and is something that makes sales much easier and is a prerequisite for the conversion success you are looking for. So pre-framing, here's how it works. If you want to help somebody buy something with which they are not familiar, right? Every year I do a 2-day annual bootcamp called Sales and Conversion Bootcamp. And I dedicate a significant chunk of time to understanding and implementing pre-framing, because pre-framing on the phone or before you begin to tell them about what the price is and their commitment, if you can pre-frame them, it makes that much easier to happen. And to do pre-framing or to pre-frame anybody, what you have to do is change their belief, their attitude, and their experiences in ways that make them want to buy the service. Remember, effortless selling is about having this whole process turned so that people want to buy from you. Well, you'll do that with pre-framing, and you can do it in many ways. One of them is to allow them to have a free sample of something first. You'll have had this experience in the shops. You've been to Publix, or you've been to Walmart or wherever, and you walk into one of the aisles and they'll offer you a free sip of wine, or a mince pie, or some new cake that they're selling, or just a try of something. They're giving you a free sample of something. They are pre-framing your buying decisions on that day. So I call this a taster session, and that's another position that you want to be in and know how to sell. It can also be called a discovery session or a taster session. It's allowing them to have a sample of what you can do for them, and it acts as a bridge from uncertainty to a more confident decision. Now, one of the problems that I see PTs run into is that because it is free, it's easy to think you do not have to sell the value of the session, and in actual fact, the reverse is true. The person, if allowed to, could be forgiven for thinking that the value is not worth their time. If something's free, there's often a stigma attached to it. So you have to talk to them about the benefits of it as they need to hear it. A lot of people that I speak to initially have a problem getting even people down for free. But there's a certain way that you need to speak to them, a certain way that you need to pre-frame them so that they see value in getting $250 worth of healthcare for free. Situation number 5 is reactivating no's, drop-offs, and no-shows. When they say no, it really just means not right now, and that's a mentality that I would encourage you to take with you. It's easily the most overlooked area of most businesses, or better said, mindset shift, the biggest area of opportunity. So just because they said no, it doesn't really mean no. It often means no, not right now, or the time just isn't right now. So knowing how to call these people back up and reconvert them is the quickest and easiest part of your sales system to boost. It's why I'm a huge fan of putting this system into your business first, because this is where the money is currently being lost. It's the biggest leak or hole in the bucket, if you like, of the business, and yet it's the easiest one to fix. So selling at events, it's all about the quality of the questions you ask in the build up to the event. Whether you're doing a workshop for back pain, or you're doing a posture class, or a balance and falls class, or you're speaking for the local BNI or Chamber of Commerce, or you've headed into a workplace to speak to employees. Success is predicated by how they are pre-framed on the call leading up to the event. If you let them believe that they are there to be educated, then that's all they will look for. But if your sales process is optimized and it's about explaining to them what else they can buy from you and how to get it, then they should be arriving already knowing that PT is a viable option. Throughout all of these interactions with you along the sales journey, the person is looking for one thing. Here it is. Write this down. This is what I want you to sell, right? Stop selling physical therapy. Stop selling McKenzie exercises. Stop selling dry needling. Stop selling acupuncture. Stop selling massage, and start selling this. Absolute certainty in what you will do for somebody. The change that you will make in that person in exchange for the time and the money that they give up is ultimately all that's at stake. If you cannot convey certainty in what you are selling, you will always struggle with actually selling it. Certainty equals how confident you appear in each of these sales situations, and this is actually 50% of the reason why they say yes or no. You get the certainty from understanding, from having a real solid sales system in place in your business that you know backs you up, does the thing that it needs to do to make somebody feel a certain way, so that when you speak to them, you feel just as certain, and how confident you are because of that is what comes across, and that is ultimately why people buy from you. So the good news is that as your sales and conversion skills increase, so too your confidence, and as a direct result, so too your conversion ratio. So 5 steps to a higher sales system. For every one of these systems, situations that you're in, all 6 of those situations you'll be in almost daily. If you follow this 5-step process, you'll be great. Build rapport, value alignment, match the benefits to their problem, anticipate objections, and ask if they are happy to proceed. So I'll talk you through each one of those now. Number 1, the patient always comes second. That's because the person should always come first. So simply put, spend some time getting to know the person before you consider them a client. It's called the priming effect. Nobody knows anything of significant value. Nobody buys anything from people they don't get along with or feel connected with. And if they don't connect with you, something called dissonance builds that I wrote about in my book, and the result is they feel uncomfortable about you, and that is what they end up saying no to, not your PT skills. So the next time you bring a patient through the door, I'm sure you are, having some kind of conversation, but really build rapport. Rapport goes well beyond the customary hello, how are you, how has your day been, take a seat. Building rapport requires you to spend 3, 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes, however long it takes, 20 minutes ideally. Your front desk person should be starting this process for you. It should be them that starts the rapport building on the phone and continues it in the treatment room, in the reception room. And if you haven't got one, well, you've got to take extra time on the phone, and you've got to ask them to arrive a little earlier so you can have this rapport, find out who their kids are, find out where they like to go on vacation, who their favorite soccer team is or baseball team or whatever. If you get all of that before, you've got a much better chance at selling. But sadly, many clinics don't. They just rush straight to the tell me about your knee problem. So at my clinic, it's one of our values, and I teach this in one of my programs. We call it person first, patient second. It drastically improves our conversion ratio. The second thing in this system is called value alignment. It's about asking better questions. Change the quality of the question, you change the quality of the answer, you change the quality of your life. So their perception of what you can do at this point is all that matters. And this is shaped in the questions that you choose to ask. If you want them to value what you do, it is at this phase that it happens. So questions like, what value would this bring to your life? Or, if I could solve this for you, what would it mean to you? Are just wonderful, wonderful value-based questions that start to bring people closer to you so that you have to do less selling. Number 2, the question that we have been trained to ask in the subjective, and most definitely the questions that you have to ask for the sake of the EMR, they will not cause an emotional change in somebody. And that's important because people buy from a place of emotion. They don't buy from a place of logic, which explains why many healthcare professionals are actually not very good at selling. We have been trained to be logical for 5 years, and yet the person that we speak to buys on emotion. If we talk logically to them, they very rarely buy. We have to speak in a way that helps them get emotional, because that's where ultimately they buy all of everything that they buy from. So the worst thing that you can ever do is ask the questions in the order that they are asked for the sake of data entry into the EMR. So step number 3 in this 5-part system, match the benefits of your service to their specific problem. Well, now you know what they value because you asked them the right questions. It's easy to match it up to what your service does. The easiest way to do this is to tell a story of somebody else with similar values that you have helped get a similar outcome. And here's how you might do it. I hear this story all the time. In fact, just recently, I helped Mrs. Smith to be able to do so-and-so. So in real term, it might say, hey, you've listened to a guy in his 50s with golf, who's a golfer who's got back pain. I might say, hey, listen, yeah, I hear this story all the time, Bill. In fact, just recently I helped another golfer to be able to get back on the golf course, hit the ball further, straighter, and improve his ability to get his handicap down, and then ultimately get in the bar for a beer at the end of the round with his friends. That's me connecting with them. I'm matching the benefits. The benefits are not reducing his back pain. The benefits are helping him hit that ball further, straighter, and harder. That's ultimately what he wants, because with his back pain, that's what he can't currently do. So if I match the benefits of the service to their particular problem, I'm more likely to get them to buy into my services without having to do much selling. So section or part number 4, anticipate their objections. I call it the white elephant in the room. Where's the thing that's there that everybody knows is there, but nobody wants to speak about it? Well, do not think that they don't have concerns or objections, even if they say yes. Everybody has them. They may just not have raised them yet. So you absolutely must raise them, even if they don't. It is much easier to tackle them when they are with you than after they have gone. How do you do it? Here we go. You ask them this question. Do you have any concerns or questions for me before you leave? That's it. Ask them. You haven't voiced any questions or concerns? I'm asking you. What have you got? And they may just not know or dare how to ask you. So objections, everybody gets them. It is a normal part of the conversion process, and ideally we want them to be aired before they leave. It's why I spend so much time teaching around how to challenge and answer the objections and understand what these objections actually mean. With the right scripts and the right frameworks, you can get to the root of the objection, and if you know how to answer that right objection with the right words, it becomes a normal part of the conversion process, and people who originally said no start to say yes. So here's the 7 objections to PT, to people having to pay cash. And look, in my world now, I think anybody is in the cash game, because ultimately people are paying out of pocket significant sums of money. If they're having to convert or give up $50 for copay and break into big deductibles in excess, or even just pay out of pocket for cash PT completely, we're ultimately all in the cash PT business game these days. So here's number 1 objection. You don't understand my problem. You don't understand it. I don't think, this might not be one that they verbalize, but this is a monster under the bed. It's there. That I just get a feeling that you don't understand my problem. Now, you might understand their problem. The point I'm raising is that they currently think that you don't. It means I don't think I did a good enough job of explaining it right. Patients often doubt themselves even when they're explaining to you what they've done. And if they think they didn't do a good enough job of explaining what they have done and what their real problem is, what they'll think is that there's no point in coming for treatment with you because you don't understand what the problem is. I don't have time right now. I don't have the time right now to commit Paul to all of these sessions. And what it really means is, I just don't think it's going to work. Nobody is that busy that they couldn't find time in their day. The President of the United States, the Queen of England, is not that busy that she couldn't find time to fix her back problem or knee problem. But she will not move her busy schedule if she does not think that it's actually going to work. Number 3 objection, I can't afford it. It means I do see the value, but I just have a cash flow issue. I've got my little boy's birthday next week. Christmas is right around the corner. I need the money to spend on a deposit for a vacation. We need a new car. It's a cash flow issue right now. It doesn't mean that they don't want to hire you. It doesn't mean that you have to drop the price. It means you have to make it more affordable for them with payment plans and so on. Number 4, it's too expensive. Meaning, I had absolutely no idea how much it was going to be, but that sounds higher than I was expecting. It means that they don't see enough value. It won't work for me. I know you've got all of these great testimonials, Paul, and I know you've got a great reputation, but I just don't think this will work for me because nothing good ever does. Number 6, I don't trust myself to get this right. Meaning, I always get important decisions wrong. Every time I go to spend money on something important, I get the decision wrong. And number 7, I'll talk to my insurance. Meaning, I'm surprised or shocked to hear that you don't take my insurance. And you need a very different way, very different questions being asked for all 7 of these objections. The crucial thing, and this is to help you and to help your staff, the pathway to overcoming objections is to actually understand what the objection is in the first place. And the thing that they tell you is very rarely the thing that's actually the problem. Number 5 in this system, ask if they are happy to proceed. Sounds simple, but half of the success is in actually asking. There are so many PTs that I speak to just dare not ask. Are you ready? Have I answered all of your questions? Would you like to book an appointment? At the right time, when all of the questions are answered and all of the concerns are addressed, the next logical step is to ask, would you like to proceed? Why does it not happen? Because of the fear of rejection, the fear of hearing a no, a lack of confidence. The thinking is that they're saying no to you, and they're not. They're just saying no to physical therapy. But because we don't like hearing a no, we've been conditioned and trained, if you like, that no is a wrong thing. You know, think back to being a kid. Every time you hear no, you associate it with something bad or feeling bad. And you've carried that with you into adulthood. So we need to get rid of that. So one simple way to ease that fear is just to change the question from do you to how do you want to proceed? They can't give you a yes or no answer there. How do you want to proceed? As always with sales, it's changing the questions. It's changing the way you speak to these people. You've got to understand how to talk to people on the phone in the discovery visits. The difference is marginal. Instead of do, it's how. It's such a simple, profound way of changing the outcome of your conversions process. So if you would like another way of easing your fears over selling, in case you are worried over being judged, see it from another angle. Why don't you see something like sales as something that you do for people and not to them, as is commonly thought. We're not selling to them. We are selling for them. We're trying to help them. We're trying to guide them. We're trying to help them understand what you can really do for people so that they can make the right decision. Because at the end of the day, if they make the right decision to choose you, they get their health transformed. For crying out loud, we're not selling second-hand cars with dodgy brakes. We are selling a life-changing, transformational service to help somebody sleep, walk, get off pills, avoid surgery, get the best of living out of their life that is possible. That's what you are selling, which is why I, for one, say that it is something that I'm doing for people. So let me help you understand this. Do you take my insurance is a common question. I'm going to help you understand something called the priming effect. It's something that you can use when answering the question of, do you take my insurance? So we understand this. This is the premise of the priming effect. We place additional significance on whatever we hear first. So if you answer the do you take my insurance question with a no, that is all they will hear. And you have almost no chance of winning them back. So how do you answer it? Instead of answering no, you're going to answer it with, what have you done? I'll get to your insurance question in a moment, but first, let me ask the most important question. What have you done? What have you done? I need before we even start to talk about logistics like insurance, let me be a person, let me be a human being here and just ask me or just tell me, what have you done? Because if I went to see my mother and said that I've hurt my back or I said I was in pain, she wouldn't ask, get your insurance card out and tell me what the number is. She'd say, what have you done? And that's what we need to be. We need to be person to person. If we can empathize with them at this level before we answer the insurance question, you've got more of a chance of getting them to choose you, whether you do or you don't. And by the way, even if you are insurance based, you should be asking them that anyway. I do not want to be chosen just because I'm in network. I want to be chosen because they value what I do and they will choose me whether I'm in network or out of network. And if I'm in network, and you are watching this and you are, that's the mentality that you should have from the front desk. We don't just want these patients because we're in network with their insurance. We want them because they wanted us. And if you change the way you ask them questions on the phone and in the conversion process at the treatment room level, you will get more people who want you and therefore they will stay with you for longer. So the priming effect, just one of many ways that you can improve your sales and conversion system. If you do it like this, it means that the first thing that they hear is you asking about them and their well-being. So how do you raise your rates without losing clients? That's what everybody wants to know. Give them a choice. That's simple. Give people a choice. Ask them, which option works best for you? Do you want the $150 visit or the $220 visit? You tell me what you want to pay. Let them decide and split your sessions up into 40-minute versions and 60-minute versions. And if they say it's too expensive, here's what I'd love you to say. Of course you can get physical therapy cheaper. In fact, I can show you where to get it cheaper from. I'm happy to give you my competitor's number. But I don't know if it's your experience, but I've never found a company that can offer the best quality and the best service for the lowest price. May I ask, which are you willing to give up? Is it the great quality, the best service, or the lowest price? You tell me which one you would like to give up, because I can't provide all three if you want it cheap. So, and again, let me just remind you, how to increase your revenue or sales by over 100%. Increase the number of customers, patients, clients by just 30%. All we've got to do is get you from 3 patients to 4. Increase that patient's average spend by 20%. Go from $150 to $180, which I don't care where you are in the world, you would be able to raise your rates by 20%. And number 3, increase the number of times they visit you by 30%, i.e. go from 3 visits to 4. Something that every single person watching this video is able to do with the right sales and conversion system. So, Type into the chat, I've got more for you. Would you like to know more about doubling sales and conversions and ultimately how to do it inside 48 hours? I've given you a sneak preview there of what is possible, what ought to be done, what could be done. A lot of people just don't know even where to start when it comes to sales and conversions. But let me tell you, there is so much that I could teach you, and I can do it all inside 48 hours. So let's talk about you and an opportunity for you and I to work together so that I can help you double your front desk and treatment room conversions. Who would like to know how to do that? Type into the chat. So let's talk about you. You know that you need to convert new patients to make a profit. You know that higher conversions requires better sales skills, and you know that converting at higher prices is the fastest way to grow your profit. You know that there is so much more to be learned, and that doing it all on your own is going to take years. That's why I created this. It's the Advanced Sales and Conversion System. It is the full deal, everything that you need. It is how to double your front desk and treatment room conversions in just 48 hours. So we can sort this entire mess out for you in just 48 hours from now. My instant access, you can get access to it right now. Effortless Selling System program shows you the complete step-by-step process for raising your rates and doubling conversions at your physical therapy practice in just 48 hours. We have 4 main focuses when we work together. I'm going to show cash pay businesses how to convert more patients who are asking about using their insurance. I will show insurance businesses how to get all patients to a completed plan of care regardless of their copay. An end to hearing I'll think about it, I'll get back to you, or I'll talk to my insurance, and I'll give you the confidence to raise rates to at least $250 per visit or equivalent. And ultimately, doubling your income without adding any additional expense or marketing. So this is for you if you quite literally dread hearing the words, do you take my insurance? You regularly hear, I'll get back to you. And as soon as they hear you are cash or out of network, but they never do, you are fed up of hearing, I'll think about it when the cash pay conversation comes up, and you are worried about raising prices and losing patients if you do. It's for you if you are a traditional insurance-based business and you're running into copay or deductible issues from patients who don't want to pay their dues. You are a new cash-based business and you want, or you know that you can't afford to lose any of the inquiries that you're getting. You struggle to get people to commit to a full plan of care, or you are out of network and you are just sick to death of hearing, I want to talk to my insurance first. You could be even frustrated with your staff's inability to sell value. You're just not confident, and if you were, you would be more profitable, and you want the right strategy to sell it. You've got marketing that's working, but your conversions are shockingly low. If any of those things describe your situation right now, this is for you. So you're getting access to the complete sales and conversion system that has helped me grow to my own clinic by 250% inside 12 months. Something that cost me hundreds of thousands to figure out. And you're getting the exact blueprint that has already helped many of my private clients to have similar results in their business. Those clinic owners pay me thousands to work with them. I'm now at $7,500 per day for consultancy. You're getting access to all of my knowledge and all of the stuff that I'd put into a clinic to do that for. So the full value of sales and conversion system is $5,000. That is likely just 4 to 5 patients that you will convert after you go through the program that you otherwise would have lost. All we're talking about here is you getting 4 to 5 new patients that you otherwise would have lost after going through this program. That's it. But it gets better because you want to do whatever it takes to help you. If you enroll now, we will take $2,500 off the price. So I'm going to give you $2,500 off the price of the complete system that you are looking at there. You can do 3 payments of just $897 or 1 payment of just $2,497 to get the complete effortless selling system that you can use at your practice. Or if you would like to do the smaller 6P option, just $495 to get this complete system. Plus, I'm going to give you the binder for free. You're going to get immediate access to the membership area where all the videos, all the scripts and everything are. But I'm also going to send you a physical through the post. It'll land in your clinic door in the next week or so, depending upon where in the world you live. 500 plus pages of all of the transcripts, all of the scripts, all of the CDs and DVDs. It means you can read this program, you can watch it on your computer, and you can listen to me in your car on a CD, and it also has downloadable links as well. You'll get the actual scripts section by section for all of the six areas in your business where you'll need to sell. You can follow along at your own convenience and obviously give this thing to your staff. It can sit in your office as a permanent reminder. You can constantly refine this system so that you can never, ever get stuck again for selling and converting at your practice. The best news, it's absolutely no risk. If you order the program now, and if after 2 weeks you don't think it will be worth $5,000 to you, I'll give you your money back in full. That means you have 2 full weeks to try the program, 100% risk-free. You cannot lose. 8 incredible seminars. This is what you get. Seminar 1, optimizing your sales system, how to use the compound effect to add a minimum $100,000 to your bottom line in the next 12 months. Seminar number 2, the 5 levels of influence plus how to use the pre-framing strategy in all your communication to limit objections and increase buy-in. Seminar number 3, 21 direct sales and conversion strategies perfect for healthcare professionals. Selling to serve and the essential principles of what I call consultative selling. How to the top 7 objections to cash PT and precisely how to overcome each one. Not just why they happen, but word for word what you need to do to overcome each one. Front desk phone calls, scripts for effortlessly converting warm and cold leads, the treatment room conversions, discovery visits, and how to do initial consultations and getting to a completed plan of care every single time. And in the final seminar, raising rates past 250. Plus, how to stop drop-offs, no-shows, and win patients back. It is the ultimate program in selling and converting. It is the most stunning program. Less than 16 hours you could be through this program. It's 2 days. In less than 48 hours, you could have all of your sales and conversion problems solved. We will get you at least $50 added to your current fees. How to convert prospects finding you cold from Google and Facebook, which everybody knows now. That's where most of your patients are or should be coming from. What to do and then say when you get the awkward silence that comes with telling them the price. How do you deal with the awkward silence that comes with telling them the price? Discovery visit success secrets. How to get more people over to a full plan of care without worrying if they'll actually show up for the next session or them calling back half an hour later and cancelling. The top 7 objections to paying for physical therapy and precisely what to say. When I mean precisely, I literally mean word for word. They say this, you say that. I'll give you the scripts for every single objection. What to ask them if they ask you how much right off the bat. There's nothing worse than when a patient rings up or walks through the door and just says, how much do you charge? It's very difficult to know where to go from there. What to say if they keep asking how much? And why you should never tell a patient how you can help them until you ask this one simple question. Can you really raise your rates to $225 per session and more? Well, I've helped dozens of PTs do it already, and I'll show you how to do it in the second part of your binder. We have, I think, on record, the highest charging PT since they took this program is $450 per session. Why talking about your credentials and your experience is not helping the conversion process, I'm going to tell you what to talk about instead. So we'll cover all 6 sales situations in your business, everything that we spoke about on this webinar, how to convert cold leads, how to sell the value on the phone to warm leads, how to convert people at the initial consultation, how to convert from your discovery visits or free tasters, reselling the value of PT to drop-offs or no-shows, and converting at workshops or when speaking at educational events. So it's not just about me teaching you. You're going to get given lots of stuff as well. I'm going to give you scripts, things that you can print out and put next to the phone so that when it rings, you can just follow along with every question and everything that you'll need to say. Frameworks for training your staff on handling objections. Staff sometimes not great at getting involved with these types of things. It's why I'm calling it frameworks. I'm going to give you the frameworks. That's what I use at my practice to train staff on how to handle objections. how to get to higher fees, much higher fees, and the unshakable confidence to handle a I do not take your crappy insurance conversation. So it's an instant access program designed to give you all of the scripts, knowledge, and strategy and confidence to raise your rates and convert all of the patients you will ever need, regardless of whether you take their insurance and whatever the size of their copay. And it gets better. I'm going to give you this. A free bonus. New patients from community events. One of my favorite programs. I'll tell you how to go and do any community event, go to a market fair, go and do a charity event, anything where people have got stalls or booths where your perfect patients are going to be, an expo, that type of thing. It's a 2-disc program that will show you precisely how to come away from any community event or small group talk with a bucket full of new patients to work with. You'll get 2 months free in my Cash Club marketing program as well. You'll get your own coach from my team to work with for the 8 weeks as you go through the program. You can role play and implement everything that you learn without messing it up with one of my coaches. And you'll also get What Is Working Now marketing ideas sent to you every 30 days for 2 full months for free. So recap, you're getting a VIP ticket, a VIP pass into the program to a 2-day bootcamp, as well as enrolling in this program right now. I'm going to give you a VIP ticket to the 2-day bootcamp. We sell those tickets for $2,000 and you're going to get one free. You'll get the New Patients from Community Events Blueprint for free as well. And I'm going to give you $10,000 worth of marketing ideas sent to your clinic every 30 days. So here's confirmation of that unadvertised free bonus. 2 times free tickets to the next Sales and Conversion live 2-day bootcamp. Go through the instant access program and then come and do it with me in person. You will love it. We'll take this whole thing to the next level. I've packed out audience after audience selling, showing how people how to sell. I'll do all of this with you. It happens once a year, usually in December. So when the next one comes around, you'll get a free ticket to a $2,000 event. There'll be 100 people in the room and you can get to work with me. I'll answer any questions you've got. I'll tell you more stories around the subjects. I'll go deeper into the psychology of this stuff, the behavioral science that people absolutely love. I'll teach you all of that stuff at the Sales Bootcamp. You'll get a ticket for you and a member of your team to come. You'll already be ahead of the game when you get there, and I'll just iron a few things out for you when you get there. So you'll also get 2 free tickets to the next Sales and Conversion live 2-day bootcamp as long as you enroll right now. You need to enroll now to get these bonuses. Plus, I'm going to do this. So as well as New Patients from community events, as well as getting 2 months free coaching from my team, as well as getting access to the next live Sales and Conversion 2-day bootcamp, if you enroll while I am still on this webinar, you can drop the price by $500. That is a huge price drop. That means it's now just 3 payments of $750 or 1 payment of $1,997. Save $500 when you get to the order form. Just type sales 500 to drop the price. Sales 500. Write that down right now. You're going to need it in a moment. Sales, S-A-L-E-S 500. Sales 500 will drop the price of this program by $500, but you must enroll while I am still on this webinar, so you have a few minutes to do that. Please have your credit card ready. I'm going to give you the page to go and enroll in a moment, and you'll be able to drop the price of this effortless selling system by $500. So in total, all of the free bonuses you'll be getting for joining my effortless selling system program are worth $2,000 more by the time you add in the Sales and Conversion 2-day ticket, and you're covered by my $5,000 no risk 100% profitability guarantee. Remember, if you don't think the program is worth $5,000 to you in the first 2 weeks of going through it, send it back to me and I'll give you a full refund. What to do next? Get the new Sales and Conversion systems working for you in your PT business. Are you ready? Here is the link. I'm about to give it to you right now. Head over to patientconversionsystem.com. There we go, patientconversionsystem.com. There may be 1 or 2 problems. There'll be close to 500 people or however many 100 people heading over to that sales page right now. If there's a problem, send an email to paul@paulgoughphysio.com. My team will take care of you. Please give us a chance. There'll be a lot of people requesting assistance, but head over there right now to get checked out. PatientConversionSystem.com, and remember to use your Sales 500 coupon code. Choose your payment plan, get your confirmation email, open your new patient from community events bonus video program, and start profiting right away. And obviously, when we get closer to the bootcamp, 2 or 3 months out, we'll send you an email or we'll give you a call and we'll tell you how to redeem your 2 free tickets. When you order the program, you'll be straight inside of the membership site, and your binder will be on your desk in the next 7 to 10 days, depending upon where you live in the world. So you've watched this presentation. You know that you want to grow your business by 50 to 250% in the next 12 months. And you know that you will do that if you can get better at converting more patients. And you know that to do that, you need a better sales system at your clinic if you want to increase conversions. So what could this do for you? Well, let me show you. This is what it did for Jake Berman. In less than 12 months, we went from a small space in a rented facility charging $145 and struggling to convert to 300% growth to buying his own space with new rates of $195 for cash. And I've recently heard since this testimonial that Jake is now at $250 per session. Period. $250 per session. You heard from Josh earlier. Without Paul's effortless sales system, my clinic would never have hit $6,000 in the first month. If you are a brand new business about to start or just started, you need to do this more than anybody. The early businesses, you must get off to a good start. If not, you're going to delay the progress years. Carrie Jose, 3 price rises inside 12 months, 0 noticeable pushback, and started with us at $150, and it is now at $225. She's about to go to $250. This allowed Carrie to go from a solo practitioner to having a larger premises and 3 staff in her company. Kevin Vandy went from $150 to $250 per visit inside 12 months since this system. From solo practitioner working 50 hours to business owner with 3 staff working 30 hours per week. Before working with us, Kevin was doing less than $6,500 a month, and he recently had a $6,500 per day since learning it. My rates went from $150 to $250 without pushback. This is Stephanie Wiley of Empower Physical Therapy in Dallas, a place without direct access. I expected pushback from patients and to lose some of them, but I didn't get any or lose any. Stephanie put this system in play into her business. So here's what to do next. Head over very, very quickly. I've only got a few more minutes before I'm off. PatientConversionSystem.com. You will get access to the effortless selling system, everything that you need, every script, every way of overcoming an objection, every way of positioning a new price rise, every way of getting somebody back onto a schedule. I'll show you the best ways of doing all of these things in your business to drastically increase the profit in your bank by the end of this month. It's going to take you less than 48 hours to make a profound change in your business. You'll get instant access to the membership site in the next minute, and then we'll send you your binder through the post. Choose your payment plan. Choose the 1 pay, the 3 pay, or the 6 pay. We don't care. We just want you to get this. Get your confirmation email, get your bonus video programs, and we'll start talking with you via your coach to help you out with these things and to make sure that you get this implemented into your business as fast as possible. So what this will do for you, make your PT business strong, safe, and secure in an uncertain, unpredictable, probably volatile healthcare environment with the added pressures of rising monthly cost and patient contributions. Make your life better than ever. Less stress, less struggle, less frustration, less financial vulnerability, and more certainty over your income goals. We will give you more autonomy. Surely this is what you want. Surely this is what you enrolled in this webinar for. And if it is what you want, head over to PatientConversionSystem.com right now. Use your Sales 500 coupon code to drop the price by $500. Get your community events bonus, get your free tickets to bootcamp, get your 2 months free coaching and support with my team, and we'll help you. We'll give you the scripts to convert at higher prices, a framework to answer objections, and the confidence to charge whatever fees you want. If you've got a team, by the way, they're going to love you. This is going to make their life easier. It is the ultimate training tool for front desk people and for physios. Instead of trying to do this on your own, it's often just another voice that makes the difference. It's another person teaching them the same thing as you've been trying to tell them that ultimately makes all the difference. Will give you everything you need to take back to your staff and help them sell more for you. Set you up for success within 48 hours without having to add any additional expense to your business. And will speed up the whole process to ensure that you hit the ground running and get all of this right first time. I'm going to end this, so be very quick to head over to patientconversionsystem.com and use your sales 500 coupon to drop the price. Just put it in at the checkout. By reminding you that income follows assets, and learning how to sell and convert is one of the greatest assets you will ever own. If you're having a problem at checkout, send us an email, paul@paulgough.com now, and we'll get on the phone to you as soon as possible, or type into the chat. Just let me know what's going on. My team will pick up your comments and we'll get back to you. Bear in mind, we get bombarded at this point, so just please, we'll get back to you. If you are trying to check out, we will be able to see it and we'll get back to you. If you're having a problem completely, just tell us that you're trying to check out, that you've tried to get your $500 off, and we'll help you out when we receive your email. So to get the effortless selling systems working for your PT business today, head over to patientconversionsystem.com, choose your payment plan, get your confirmation email, open your bonus video programs, and start profiting right away. You've got 1 more minute and then I'm off. If you want to make your PT business strong, safe, and secure in an uncertain, unpredictable, volatile healthcare environment with the added pressures of rising monthly costs and patient contributions, if you want to make your life better than ever, less stress, less struggle, less frustration, less financial vulnerability, and more certainty over your income goals, and more autonomy, finally put an end to the sinking feeling that comes with them asking the insurance conversation or how much it costs, then you must head over to patientconversionsystem.com. Get all of the instant access free bonuses, feel confident with a profitability guarantee, and I'll see you in the Sales and Conversion System program, and together we'll put an effortless selling system to work in your physical therapy business.